Good evening, family, friends. Welcome to the Coebourn Elementary Winter Concert. We're in for a real treat this evening. Boys and girls have been practicing, as you all know, since September. We're very excited that everyone's come out to join us for some holiday spirit. I'd also like to thank Mr. Sidnicki for all of his work with our children, and boys and girls, thank you for all of your hard work, because I know just how hard you work with your instruments. And parents, thank you so much for all of your work with our children and for supporting our music programs. I'd also like to welcome Dr. Steinhoff. Thank you for coming out this evening, Superintendent of Schools. And we're in for a very enjoyable evening. And without any further ado, Mr. Sidnicki.
Good evening, thank you so much for joining us. As you heard, my name is Mr. Stadnicki. I am the proud band director here at Coebourn Elementary. And without further ado, I would like to introduce the first piece. So the first piece we have is called First Winter Sleigh Ride, written by John O'Reilly. It mixes old music with some new music. You may recognize bits of Deck the Hall and Jolly Old St. Nicholas inside of an original work. So the reason why I chose this piece is because it challenges our students by using a really fast tempo that they are not used to. We talk about different harmonic progressions with tonic and dominant. In 4th grade, in this year, we talked about the subdominant, which is a new kind of chord we learned. We talked about the difference between separated and connected articulation, and they are happening at the same time, so they have to stay on their own side of the road and make sure that they are playing separated when they should, or playing very connected sounds when they should. We talk about an awful lot about balance this year, making sure that both parts can be heard. We have the dotted half note, which can be very tricky as they're learning about rhythms that have dots in them. And we also have some active mallet keyboard percussion parts as well. So this is First Winter Sleigh Ride. In between each of our songs, we're going to feature some self-selected soloists. They have all been given packets of tunes that some easier, some more challenging. And I said, here, have fun. If you want to find something and play on the concert, you're more than welcome to. So these are all very hardworking students who are going above and beyond to play things off their own. We're going to start off with a rendition of Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. This will be performed by Elizabeth, Kamaya, and Emily. The composer of our next piece, Francois Dorian, might know a thing or two about Blizzard, seeing as though he's a native of Quebec. The title, Blizzard Blues, references the frequent snowstorms that are endured in Canada. This title also refers to the style of music called the blues, a style which musicians can musically express what is making them feel blue. This tune is also considered a 12-bar blues form, which means it maintains a repeating harmonic progression of 12 measures long. It can also be considered to be written in a rondo form, which is a piece that has a repeated A section and is divided by contrasting sections in the middle. This is going to really feature our trombone section as it layers in other sections on top of the different themes that they give us. This is in the key of C minor, which is a new kind of tonality and a key signature for these students. It includes the idea of 16th notes on the snare, so we're getting to really small kind of notes in the percussion class. And this also just has some reading different pitches from high sounds and low sounds as well for the percussion, where up to now they were just reading rhythms. So we will hear that on the conga drums. This is Blizzard Blues. Obviously quite a popular tune coming up, Jingle Bells. We are going to have 4 people playing this one for you. This is going to be Owen, Abby, Vincent, and Josh. Our next tune, Christmas on the Farm, written by Mark Williams, is easily our most challenging piece of the evening. This tune layers not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different songs. You're going to hear snippets of Good King Wenceslas, Jingle Bells, Deck the Hall, and Old MacDonald. Maybe it demonstrates the chaos of all sorts of animals running around making those noises that we all sang in Old MacDonald's farm. But this really challenges our students. We are reading in the concert key of E flat, which is, again, our new key for this year. But it also sprinkles what's called natural signs in a lot of the parts as we go back and forth and borrow notes from our old key and our new key. Some musical acrobatics are in the clarinet section as they're playing some low notes, as well as the trombone section as they're playing really high notes. It also challenges the winds with this really difficult rhythm, a dotted quarter note followed by an 8th note, which requires them to feel the beat and learn to play note after it rather than right on the beat. It also includes the rudiment of the flam that you will hear in the snare drum. This is Christmas on the Farm. Our final soloist of the evening will be Pippi performing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Before we play our last tune, I would like to just make a whole number of thank yous. First, in attendance, thank you Dr. Steinhoff, our Superintendent of Schools, for everything that he does to support music in our district. Mr. Kaminka, our Assistant Superintendent. All of our School Board of Directors. Of course, our principal here, Ms. Ford, who is such a large proponent of music education as a whole, but also all these students up here as they follow their musical endeavors. I'd like to thank all my 4th and 5th grade colleagues all these years for sharing their students with me and learning how both of us can get each other's jobs done and create music while being learning all those things that they learn, math, reading, science, all those things, as they excel in those. Our secretarial staff, Ms. Armour and Ms. Malkoon, for everything that they do behind the scenes for our ensembles. Ms. Zazinski leading our custodial services and all of her staff that's here at Coebourn. I'd like to thank our videographer here, Mr. DiCamillo. Thank you for doing that. As you leave tonight, you'll be able to witness all of those nice moments later on our YouTube channel. Our PTL and everything that they've been doing to help support music in our schools. Our parents and families, everything that you do to encourage your child to play their instrument at home and they're not wanting to, making them perform for their family and friends when it's the holiday times as they want them to play jingle bells for each other. Also the monetary thing that goes along with it, realizing that we're probably have come into monthly re-rentals, so I understand the cost with that. And all of those who are playing taxi every morning on Wednesdays to come to school so that we can put on this performance and have our rehearsals before school. But last but not least, the students who are on the stage and everything that they've been doing for the last year and a few months. If we could give the students a hard round of applause. It's quite amazing as we follow their journey from their first amazing notes that they had at the beginning of 4th grade up till now. So hopefully you feel the joy that of all the progress that we've been making since then. So our last tune before we have a short transition to the choral portion is called Gingerbread Men on Parade, written by Len Orsino. And this is what we would consider programmatic music because it kind of has a story. So we ask, can you see them? A batch of gingerbread men marching around the table. Here comes another batch to join the first, and another, and even more. They're happily parading around the gingerbread houses, mixing bowls and cookie pans. Smiling faces, bright eyes, and shiny buttons are part of their marching uniform. You might even begin to smell the gingerbread aroma from our kitchen. This has lots of work that we've done with articulation, learning to separate notes or connect notes, but also slurs as we move from one note to another without articulating. This includes some syncopation, counting with the percussion versus winds interplaying with each other, some hard rests count. We have some more of the pitched notes in the percussion with the tempo blocks that you will hear. And also, we did a lot of work with dynamics, especially at the end, where you start to hear the parade go further and further away, and eventually around the corner. This is Gingerbread Men on Parade.
Okay, we're back. Welcome once again to the Coebourn Elementary Winter Concert. Again, you're in for a extremely enjoyable evening with our chorus here. The boys and girls sang this afternoon and they sounded fabulous. Thank you to Ms. O'Keefe. And also, boys and girls, thank you for all of your hard work. Right? We know that we have grit here at Coebourn Elementary. You practice, and you come to all those morning practices, and you sounded fabulous today. Okay? And parents, thank you again for supporting the music programs in your children. And without further ado, once again, Ms. O'Keefe.
Good evening and thank you for coming to our concert. Let's give our wonderful A band another round of applause. Our chorus will begin with Don't Eat a Poinsettia, which has a fun Latin flair. We hope our dancers don't try to eat one of our poinsettia plants.
Poinsettia, for you might regret a bad day when you get a tummy
Candlelight Cannon is our next song. This beautiful melody picks a picture by the cold winter night by the candlelight. Our next song is untitled Hanukkah and celebrates the Festival of Lights. We hope all of our friends celebrating have a very happy Hanukkah. Enjoy.
Hanukkah, now it's time to hear.
the chipmunks are beloved characters that have stood the test of time and loved by many generations of people. Christmas Don't Be Late, or the Christmas song, is by far the most popular tune. We hope you enjoy our version of the classic Christmas song.
Ready, Simon?
Ready!
Ready, Theodore?
Ready!
Ready, Alvin? Alvin? Alvin!
Okay! My Christmas time is near. Time for toys and time for cheer. We've been good, but we can't last. Hurry, Christmas, hurry back. Want to play, let loose the loop. Me, I want a hula hoop. We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Well, that was pretty good, fellas. Do you think we should try it with the choir?
Okay! Christmas, Christmas time is near. Time for toys and time for cheer. We've been good, but we can't last. Hurry, Christmas, hurry fast. Want a plane that loose a loose. Me, I want that hula hoop. We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late. We can hardly stand the wait. Please, Christmas, don't be late. Don't be late.
Let's see if we can get those chipmunks back out here so we give them a big round of applause. Come on, Alvin. Don't be shy now, Alvin. Thank you so much for coming this evening. I apologize for my very scratchy voice. It's that time of year. But I just wanted to say a few words before we did our last song. First of all, I just want to thank these awesome students behind me. You guys, you've worked so hard this year. They were ready for any challenge that I gave them. That two-part cannon that you heard in the candlelight song. I threw those candles in their hands today at the last minute. So everything that I threw their way, they rose to the challenge. So thank you guys for working so hard. I look forward to the spring concert too. And of course, as Mrs. Ford said, we need to thank all of you for supporting music education and the arts here in Pendleton, specifically here at Coebourn. I myself am a Coebourn Cougar, class of '95. And I remember quite vividly all of my musical experiences here at Coebourn and throughout North Lee and Sun Valley. So I'm just so thankful that the community supports our music programs. So let's give our families a big hand. Our family here at Coebourn is just so wonderful. So all the staff and the teachers, we just work so well together. I'm so thankful to be here. And it goes all the way to the top with Dr. Steinhoff. Thank you so much for coming tonight and for always supporting our program. And a big thank you to Mrs. Ford. I have worked with her for 13 years, I think. I think we've been working together for 13 years now, and she's always been such a supporter of anything that I did, whether it be in the classroom or for chorus. So thank you, Mrs. Ford. All right, we have one more song for you, so I'm going to let Skylar take it away.
Thank you so much for coming to our concert. We hope you enjoyed our fantastic 8-band and our wonderful chorus. At this time, I would like to thank Ms. Vincent for playing us this year.
This is also her 13th year playing for us, so thank you, Mrs. Vincent.
us here. Any Coebourn graduates are welcome to come up and sing this song with us. Thanks again for coming. Happy holidays.
I know there are more Coebourn graduates in this audience. Let's go. Anybody, any ears, doesn't matter. Santa. I hope you do good this year. Santa's here. Why?